Wow, that was great.
Oh. Woo! Yo!
Hello and welcome to another Woodshop podcast with Mike Coffey of Coffee Custom Builds, Daniel Dunlap of Daniel Dunlap Woodworks, and Peter Kapar of Petrie's Workshop. You can find us all as well as the podcast on Instagram and YouTube.
Welcome to episode 150 of another Woodshop podcast, where this week we're joined by a fellow maker, a 3D printer, designer, content creator, and professional troll. He's handsome, he's witty, and he'll show you how to maintain your lawn. Drew Witt from Wittworks is here.
Nice.
Woo, Drew's here.
150.
Drew made it. Right.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
Drew's
All
here for
right.
episode 150. You don't talk until you're. No, I'm just kidding. We're actually going to do a quick spiel. And by we, I mean me. I'm going to say a big
gosh.
thank you to our patrons.
They don't
before we
allow
get
me to
into
talk
the
now.
Drew. When it's your turn, Dunlap.
When spoken
When
to.
it's your turn. And you don't look me in the eyes again. Not until I'm done talking to the patrons. No, big thank you to our patrons. You guys are amazing. Thanks to Benjamin, the latest patron. Let me go over our
Button?
Top tier patrons?
Benjamin
No,
Button?
the button's right. The
The
Benjamin
button's
Button. He's very young slash
He's aging
old.
the
No,
correct way.
I wanted to talk about our
Is he a
VIP
reverse
patrons.
Benjamin Button?
We're definitely
Yeah.
not
So
stalling
he's just
because
a
Mike didn't
person?
pull up the top tier.
No, I've got it. It's
No,
here. It's
he's
already
got
here.
it.
No, I've got it.
Yeah.
Reverse Benjamin Button is just regular growth aging situation.
just
So you're
button.
aware. Okay. All right. Alex Kopajans, Bill Burkle, Braden with Little Bug, Daniel Bryson, Jake Miller, Justin with Calvary Customs, Christian Tong, Malcolm at Boston Nova Woodworks, Matt Maynard, Max and Mindy Coons, Melinda Coons, Michael Flickinger, Michael Lydon, Scott Holland, Square Splinter, Steve Latarola, and that's all of our VIP patrons.
Wow,
So big
what a
thanks to you
handsome,
guys are so
sexy,
amazing.
pretty, knowledgeable group right there.
What a really impressive crew.
What a
who sounds
generous
like great
group of people.
What a bunch of
Yes,
shills we
wow.
are.
They're
Uh,
legally people, yes.
they're legally, by every definition of the term, humans.
people.
Possibly.
In
We actually
49
can't confirm
states.
that. Right. No. Big thanks to our patrons. You guys are great. Thanks to the new patron. Drew, welcome to the show. You are Drew Witt of
Yeah.
Wittworks. I don't know anything about you or what you do. So I want you to tell me about it
It's a
in your
lie.
elevator
I just did
pitch
that
right
intro
now. Yeah,
where
none of
I did his whole pitch for him.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
you
he's
did the
a
whole thing?
lawn
He doesn't
guy.
have to talk? Yeah,
He's
yeah,
a
he
Long
is.
Island guy.
Long Island.
Long Guy Land.
Yeah.
Long Guy Land.
There it is.
Rhode Island.
Drew, not even a nine. Drew, tell us
Wow.
who you are. What do you do? What do you like to talk about? Troll us.
Oh gosh. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for
I
coming on.
love to make things,
Oh,
and I like.
excellent.
I think they should look good. And I like
Bold
to help
choice.
people. I like, yeah. Well, and I like to help people make things. So that's kind of everything I do is boil down to helping people make things. And have
Yeah,
fun.
if you had to define yourself, would you say you're a woodworker, maker, 3D printer?
Crime
Like
fighter.
what's your, like, do you have a category you feel like you fall into, or you're just a maker?
You know, that's a good question.
That's why you asked it.
Um,
That's what
have
we
a
do here.
podcast.
I get to pay the medium bucks.
I think
Ow.
I would say I'm a creative.
Ooh,
Ooh, that's
And-
nerdy. I like it.
very
Top
corporate
Yeah.
nerdy
answer.
to me.
Yeah, because I'm not. I mean, like I do like to make things with wood, but I'm not like a professional vocational woodworker. Like,
I don't think any of us are.
Right?
I mean, I am.
Uh,
Go ahead.
Mike is. But I'm also like I hate the term influencer and even content
It's the
creator.
worst. Oh, I like content creator. I don't like influencer.
I don't even like content creator.
diva.
So I just
Passenger
I like
princess.
I like to create things. So
YouTube diva.
you know, that's how I would
What-
describe me.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have a wide-ranging birth of items that you talk about and do on your channel. I mean, just kind of anything. I mean, for me, it falls into the maker title, but you know,
Yeah,
you get to
for
define
sure,
that
yeah.
title. So, I mean, a creative is great. Like, so I think when
Maker
I
is
hear you
fine,
say
yeah.
creative, I think not necessarily creating things. I think of creating ideas and abstract stuff. Is that accurate, you think, or what?
Yeah, yeah. I do. Yeah, I like to come up with ideas, and sometimes those ideas are translated into wood. Sometimes that's into 3D printed thing. Sometimes that's into
New
videos.
soda flavors such as Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry, I had to do
yeah.
a callback.
Yep. Sometimes it's a video idea that I think would be funny and would make me laugh. Sometimes it's a
Yeah.
painting, so it just yeah, so I think creative in that sense is I like to come up with ideas and then put them into the world in a visually pleasing way. Yeah.
I
I
like
like it.
I like it.
Dan,
I
you
like
didn't say
Right.
it.
Eh.
You're supposed to say it on 3.
Oh, it's great.
There
I-
you go.
I mean, I want to say like how I met you. I met you through the social media networks. We were at a festival event. We didn't really talk much, really, which is kind of a bummer. I wish we had talked while we were at that
I
festival
know.
event.
I felt like such an imposter. I had such like, how am I invited to this? I did
Well,
not
I mean,
fish out of water.
no, I mean, you were talking. I mean, it doesn't matter. The point is we met through this, and I didn't really get to speak to you, and I wish I had at that event because that would have been nice. And you've helped me like really rethink about my YouTube channel thumbs and things like that. I mean, I've been having these conversations because as I've been mentioning on the show in the last few months, YouTube is such a focus for me. I mean, I will say that you describing yourself as creative is very apt because you kind of think about the visually pleasing nature or visually catching nature of things in a way better than I can. I just don't think about that naturally. You kind of had to like rejigger my brain on that, which is something I did want to get into on the show. I mean, let's dive into a little bit here, like YouTube thumbs. And your channel has seen really impressive growth, and your views you're seeing really impressive views. And I mean, why don't you speak to why you think that is and what that is going to be like moving forward for you and how you're going to try to maintain that?
Yeah, I would say I would preface it all by saying I'll describe what I think,
Right.
but I have no clue if it's.
Anyone who
I'm
says they do is a liar.
Yeah, I'm shy
Just
to
give your opinion
prescribe
on the matter.
anything. Yeah, my opinion. Well, first, like, some of my first memories are driving riding in the back seat of the car, seeing a billboard, and then when I came home, I was probably like 3 or 4 or 5, drawing
Taco
out
Bell
with
billboard.
crayons what I saw on the no, yeah.
The Taco Bell billboard
And-
for the new flavor that just came out.
That's it.
Beja?
That's it.
What's a Beja flavor?
What's Beja, Mom? What's Mountain Dew? So as a kid, I've always been like drawing. I actually suck at drawing, but I've always been like, give me a
Same.
crayon, give me something. I got to put this idea from my head onto paper. Those are some of my earliest memories. And I've always been like that. When I was 16 in high school, we had to take a computer class. They had Photoshop, and I like discovered Photoshop in high school. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is way better than Paint, like MS Paint,
Right.
So I've been
A
like
Texas Instruments calculator is better than MS.
The original AI.
the original AI.
Etch a sketch.
That is great.
Better
Yeah, so
than me.
that's a little bit of my history is I have been making graphics in some way, shape, or form as long as I can remember. So what was it, the part of your question? YouTube, how does that apply to YouTube?
Yeah, just like you've seen some really good growth and you're seeing really great views. And I mean, it ties. I mean, what are you not? Because you don't
Give
know
us
knows
all
the
your
answer as to
secrets,
why.
Drew.
Yeah, not give
Yeah.
us your secrets as much as like, what's
hashtags
your
do you
approach? What's your approach? Yeah, what are you tagging? What exactly are you using for descriptions? No, I mean, what's your approach when you're let's say you have an idea for a video. Walk us through the Drew Witt idea of a video, because your perspective is one that I am starting to change towards, and it's because I heard about it from you. So why don't you talk about how you approach a video idea, because I think it's very interesting and it's one I'm hearing more and more of, and I think it's really important that people hear about this because it's a really interesting way about going about a video, and I think it's really I just want you to share that.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
is the show that I
And
host, and I'd love for you to share it, please.
good. Yes. Okay. I'll do it. So I will. Let me think of that. Let me tell you what I did wrong for about a year and a half, and then what the couple of mindset shifts I made in the fall that took me from like 2,000 subscribers to 36,000 subscribers in the last 6 months. So like if I were to draw out a graph, it's like this for almost a year and a half, and then I started thinking differently, and it's just been going up and to the right, pretty crazy. So for the first, and the reason why I don't say I'm not a woodworker and I'm not a content creator is for the first whatever 16, 18 months, that's what I would have said I was, which was whatever I'm doing this week, I'm going to film it and make a YouTube video. If I'm mowing the grass, I'm making a lawn video. If I'm making a barn door, I'm going to make a barn door video. It was like the camera's along for the ride. I think that
Love that.
used to work probably 10 years ago.
Vlog, yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't, because what happens is like, first of all, a lot of these things are chores that I don't even want to do. Who else wants to
Right.
watch that, right?
Right.
So from February of 2021 to September of 2022, that's what I was doing, and I got like I think 2,000 subscribers, got monetized, was making maybe $100 a month on YouTube, maybe $100 from Amazon. A lot of work for a year and a half for like $200 a month. And I'd do a video and it'd get 200 views, or I'd do a video and it'd get 1,000 views, or I'd do a video and it'd get 30,000 views. But I didn't know why. And then I'd do a next video and it would get 200 views. And it was very inconsistent and it was very accidental and it felt like the lottery. And I don't remember where I heard this from, but there are basically a couple of different mindset shifts that occurred. The one I actually haven't talked about publicly, so you're going to get the scoop,
Ooh.
is I wish I could remember where I heard it, but I agreed with it. And I'll preface this by saying it's not for everybody. And it may not be for, you guys, but it made sense for me. And it was stop thinking like the actor and start thinking like the media company. Basically, like, stop thinking like Jimmy Fallon and start thinking like the CEO of NBC. And
I love that.
like be a media distributor. Like, you're a media distributor. You're not a content creator. You're not the talent. You're not a maker. If you want YouTube to be a living for your family, you have to think like the CEO of a media company. You have to think like a distributor of media, not a content creator. That was very challenging to me because I was like, wait, this is my identity. This is what I do. I dethatch the lawn and I do a video about how to dethatch your lawn. And it's like, that's a terrible way to build a brand, and it's a terrible way to build a loyal audience. So yeah, the last fall, I just started like, well, let me see what that does. So that was shift number one, was like actually stop thinking like an influencer, stop thinking like a content creator, stop thinking like a woodworker, and think of, if it were my job to run a company distributing media, how would I make decisions? Now, I'm not the greatest at that, but I'm like, 6 months into trying to think like that, and I'm still feel like I'm tripping through it.
Well, there's
But that was-
results. There's definitely results there. So,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
something happened. Even if you think you're not doing a good job, it's happening.
Yeah, it's definitely better. Now I do a video and I get 10,000 views in a day and I'm depressed. It was like,
Right.
golly, So that was shift number one, was like, what would Oprah do? Like how would Oprah, if Oprah owned my YouTube channel, how would she approach it?
That's how I live my life. WWOD.
I would just tell everyone every video, instead of like subscribe below, just be like, look under your seat. That's the subscribe button.
That's good. I like that. Okay, so that was shift number one. I've never talked about that, but and it's not for everybody, because for some people, YouTube is just like their hobby. I have 3 small children, and it's now my job, and so it's like I have to think about this from a business perspective. Okay, so the other shift that I think is maybe way more important or equally important was I got this advice from a guy named Leron. I forget his last name, but he's
Jenkins.
got
I was trying not to say it.
Jenkins.
no.
Leron Jenkins.
He's you guys are a train wreck. His YouTube channel is the Techie Guy. I think he's got 800,000 subscribers, and he's like the YouTube whisperer to people like Preston Plays and all these big YouTubers that have multiple channels of multiple millions of. He's like their consultant.
Right.
$900 an hour is what he charges.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I did a mastermind
Wow.
with him that was not $900 an hour. It was pretty affordable. It was like $300 for like a 3-month thing. It was pretty cheap.
Wow.
And it was basically he kept yelling at everyone and he'd say, "Stop talking about the algorithm. You're not going to hack the algorithm. You're not going to outsmart the out." And people come on and talk about, "I want to do these YouTube shorts." And he's like, "Stop thinking about YouTube shorts. Stop thinking about the algorithm." And he was awesome. I loved it. And he basically, I paid this guy $300 to tell me, "You should psychologically study your audience." And everyone would be like, "Okay, so what do you think about click-through rate?" And he's like, "Stop it. Have you done your audience profile yet?" And people, like, no one wanted to do it. And so I realized I kind of already had started doing it I have some of my, like, who I would call like my loyal subscribers, that they would watch anything I put up.
Right.
I have their cell
core.
phone numbers, the core. Yeah. Like there's probably 10 of them. I have their cell phone numbers. They have my cell phone number. We text. And I say this legitimately. I actually care about them. Like they're my friends. Like I actually care about them. Also, I pay attention to everything they say. I pay attention to what pisses them off. I pay attention to what they like. And I study them. Now, I'm not their friend to study them. Like I actually care about them as a person. But I also like their preferences, their style of humor, what they spend money on, the tool brands they want. I pay attention to all of it. Like they're my avatar in marketing terms.
They're
And
really doing
so
your research in your
I am, but I honestly actually care about them. And so what Lebron was basically, he's like, it's really as simple as making high value videos for your audience. He's like, if your
sense.
audience is in the Ryobi budget line and you make a domino video, you're not serving your audience and that video is not going to do well. Right. Like it's just like really, really, really easy, dumb stuff. So
Right.
I just started. So that one of the assignments was let your audience decide your next video. So I've told the story on other podcasts, but this is what literally I'm about to hype this up. What I'm about to tell you has probably made me $80,000 in the last 6 months. Easily.
I'm writing.
It has also landed me into the email inbox of the CEO of Festool, and the owner of Festool private messages me on Instagram because of what I'm about to tell you. Okay. So
Such a tease. Let's go.
it is a tease. How about, and the after show is okay. So this is so stupid. Like it's not genius, but so that I paid money to tell this guy, to give this guy permission to tell me what to do. So in September, it's like, okay, poll your audience and get their opinions on like what videos they want to see. So I had a couple of, like any good YouTuber, I had this note file in my phone of all these videos that I want to make. Videos that I think would be cool. Honestly, videos that I think would be pretty easy to make, you know. So I do a community post on YouTube. The most underutilized tool on YouTube that is for free that very few people use. I use the heck out of that thing. So I do a poll, and it's like, help me help you. What video do you want to see next? And I list out the 4 videos that I wanted to make. It was something like the cheapest laser engraver for beginners. And then there was another video, and it was like 5 marking and measuring tools you must have. And then it was another video is like mistakes beginners make at the table saw. It was like these videos that I would be really interested in making. And almost a year prior, I had bought a Festool CT MIDI, a dust extractor that was like $600 because I wanted one. And I did a quick video showing it, and then I hinted to, hey, I might do a video comparing it to my cheap rigid shop vac. That was in like December of the previous year, and they never did the video. The video got 1,000 views. So I made that video December of 2021. Fast forward to the following September, 9 months later, I never made that video, and I made that comment in a video that had 1,000 views. And within 1 week, 2 people commented on a recent video. I don't even know what video it was. And the comments were unrelated to the video. And they said, hey, did you ever make that comparison video from the Festool vacuumed? And I was like, that's kind of a weird question that I said that 9 months ago, and only 1,000 people watched that video. And it's really weird that in 1 week, 2 different people asked that on like an unrelated video. So that was in the back of my mind. I'm making this poll, and it gives me one more option, like a 5th option. And I needed so I just threw out there $29 shop vac versus $600 Festool vacuum. At this point, the only community tab engagement I ever got was like 1 or 2 likes, or like someone comments and says first, ha 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 ha, or whatever.
Classic.
That post. Okay, so at the time I have, I think 2,000 or 3,000 subscribers, somewhere around there. That post got, I think it was something like either 274 votes or 374 votes.
The community tab, those posts get surprised. Like, people really want to voice their opinion. I think is the thing. And
Yes. Yes.
People like doing that on the internet. That's weird.
I was surprised at how much
I'm writing this down.
I've done one poll, and I was like, whoa, that's way more feedback than I anticipated from this, because there's not really much
make
of a
it about
community.
them.
Well, yeah, it's about them, but there's also not much. There's not really many ways other than comments that you can express yourself on YouTube, and community tab is a way to do that. So
yes,
I think that like the negative of YouTube compared to, let's say, Instagram, which Instagram, we're not talking about Instagram, but Instagram has such a great community. YouTube, the community kind of lives in the comments and in those community tab polls. So the polls are really, I had this conversation at Festool with Matt with MWA, and he was talking about how important the community tab is for him. He'll be like, I'm doing a video. This is what we're going to cover. What things would you like in the video? And he's asking, the people that are going to respond to that are people who want to make their voice heard, and your core audience, because they're engaged in your content. So he's like, I always do the first thing out of the gate on the video if I'm doing like a top 5 video or something like that. And it's like, yeah, that makes a ton of sense. It just makes a ton of sense.
That's smart that he even like Drew chose it to be like, what is my next video? Whereas he does, here's my next video. What else do you want to see in it? That's actually pretty cool.
So the caveat is they're not always right.
Right.
And you don't delegate your leadership and your vision to them. However, I was so surprised to get that many votes, and 83% of the votes were for this video.
It's a landslide.
Gosh, excuse me. I just took a sip of water, burped. Sorry if you heard that. I was not expecting that many votes, and I was not expecting the majority of them to be for this video I wasn't even thinking about. So I did what I had always heard people talk about, and I never done, is I went into the garage and I took some different thumbnail options, and I went back, because at that time the thumbnail was always an afterthought, and it was always like a screen grab or like something weird. I never put thought into the thumbnail.
It was the last thing you do. You're like, oh, I finished the video. Now I got to go put the thumbnail up. And it's like,
I did that for 18 months. Okay. So I flipped it. So one, I'm thinking like Oprah, or I'm thinking like the CEO of NBC. Two, I'm polling my audience. I'm trying to understand them. And three, they give me a video idea. I'm like, okay, let me go find the thumbnail. So I go and I take a picture of the vacuum, and both vacuums in between each other. And I do a couple of iterations of that. And I do one where I do the Mr. Beast face.
Mhm.
And immediately, and I throw it up there like, hey, which one would you click on? And immediately I get, you're better than that. Show some self-respect. I would never click on a video if you make that face. And I go, I agree. But you're told, unless you make the John Malecki face, you're not going to get 300,000 views on your thing. With respect to Mr. Malecki. And you can like talk about,
You want to show
all this.
tonsils. That's the thing.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I learned from my audience that like, no, my audience doesn't want to be tricked into clicking in that way. Right.
Right.
So then
No one wants
okay.
to be tricked that way. I mean, it's you start to lose trust. I mean,
To be fair, we tricked them to be on this podcast.
You did trick me. I thought. Yeah,
Fair.
I thought they were I thought they were cookies. Okay.
Mhm.
So then I do another post and I go, what title would you want to see? And I had texted several of my core audience, and I thought it'd be funny. I thought I was going to do a video, entitle it something like don't show this video to your wife or something, because part of the video was like that the shop vac really kept up with the Festool vacuum, surprisingly. And so my idea was like, don't show this video to your wife or she's not going to let you buy this vacuum. And 100% across the board, the response was, I don't need to ask my wife permission to buy a tool.
right. So silly.
And I was like offending them. I think I'm being cute and clever, but they're going, I don't. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm asking like, okay, what are your problems? What are your pain points? And I'm realizing like literally these guys want to save money. They want nice tools, but they don't want buyer's regret, buyer's remorse.
Yeah.
They're okay buying Festool, but they just want to make sure they buy the right one. So I titled the video like, cheap versus, I forget what I titled, but I put like,
this video will save you a lot of money. Dust extractors for beginners. I just have that from memory.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I got your
this
YouTube
video
channel up here.
So I titled it because literally my viewers were telling me they're okay spending money on Festool, but they also want to save money. So that's what I titled it. And then, so then I get to, okay, I go 4 deep. I go to the deep end. At this point, I haven't made the video yet. And I go, what questions do you have? And I get one guy comment. He goes, this is too much. I'm unsubscribing. And at that point, I thought, oh, crap. Am I making a mistake? Now, in hindsight, I lost that one subscriber and I've gained like 34,000 cents. So
it wasn't worth it.
It wasn't worth it. Yeah. So I get this like a litany of questions, and they were like all great questions. And I'm like, oh my gosh, now this video is going to take forever. So then I literally take all the questions and I like distill them and compile them down to basically like, I don't know, 5 or 6 different, like, what's the filter quality like? What's this? And I spent, all I know is I spent over 50 hours editing the video. I think it took me 3 weeks to make the video. Like, all I did for 3 weeks was test, shoot, figure out the air quality meter that I bought was trash. So I had to go research and find a better one and wait for that to come in. And like, I spent 3 weeks of my life making this video that I wasn't going to make. And it was completely built around the audience.
Did well though. Okay.
So here's the crazy thing. I am 3 weeks into this. I'm doing the edit. I'm like 45 hours into the edit. I'm exhausted. And I'm like, I bet this video gets 1,000 views. And there's some parts in there that start to get a little long. and I need some B-roll. And I'm like, okay, if I'm already like 45 hours into this, I might as well go. So I went back into the garage, set everything back up, and there were some B-roll shots that I needed to get. And John Sheeser is how you say his name. He's one of these guys. Go ahead. He texts me and he says, "Hey, how's this?" Because I've been talking about this video. He's like, "How's the video coming?" And I was just like fed up. I was tired. I was exhausted, and I really believed it was going to get 1,000 views. And I said, if this video tanks, I'm quitting. I actually said that to him, and he texted back, "No, you're not." And so the video, I released the video. The first day it gets 1,000 views. The second day it gets 2,000 views. The third day it gets 4,000 views. The next day it gets 8,000 views. The next day it gets 16,000. It doubles every day.
Wow.
Day 7 hits 100,000 views.
So is that the trick though? You just threaten to quit before you release the video?
That's what
I
you
mean,
do. Exactly.
I'll
That's
do
the
it.
point.
I mean, I will not do any more videos.
You know, I've done that 3 times and it's failed. It doesn't work. That video just crossed 600,000 views.
It's crazy.
A couple days ago.
It is refreshing to see a completely different perspective from like when we had Eric Spenceley on a couple weeks ago, and he's purely right now looking at the numbers. He's A/B testing everything. His titles and his thumbnails are very, you can say, unorthodox based on what we're kind of expecting of a YouTube channel. But he's following pure data and numbers, and you're following pure community-based feedback and, you know, still some A/B testing, but like you're very heavily leaning into community over just straight like data off of something else. So it's really nice
with
to see
a slight, thank you, with a slight caveat. My audience said
asterisk.
Yeah, with asterisk is that my audience said they preferred the thumbnail without me in it. I was like, thanks. So I A/B tested, and I got
I get that a lot.
I got a much higher click-through rate on the thumbnail that had me in it. So I do test, like I do like listen, and I test to see, does the data match, or are they just the vocal minority that are yelling at me?
Seems like that might be the case a lot though. And also like that core audience though, like, I mean, you're going to speak to this better after I say it, but like, I feel like as you grow a channel inside of a niche, you have a relatively group of people, because it's within a niche, they're probably similarly minded about what kind of content they want to see. As soon as your content gets to a broader audience and your content grows outside of that niche, your core is still there, but that core is growing outside of that niche, and you're getting a general audience of people, and that opinion is going to shift as your channel grows, right?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, there'll be different. Yeah, I think
once you get over that 100K, you're going to have a different responses to the polls that you would have when you had 10K.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. So what's interesting about that video, to compare it to Spenceley, is I have never changed the title and I have never changed the thumbnail. That title and thumbnail is the original from day one. I'm scared to mess with it because I get it. I get consistent views on it. So the cool thing about that is I had 3,000 or 4,000 subscribers, and I made a video that now has 600,000 views on it. Like, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
There's people who have 600. There's people who have 600,000 subscribers and they get 10,000 on a view.
Yeah.
And I flipped it because I thought like Oprah or a CEO of NBC, and I studied my audience, and then I went and worked really, really hard for 3 weeks and spent, I think, $1,500 on that video. And it was a risk, but it took off. Jason Bent ended up seeing that video, and I noticed like he subscribed. And so I messaged him I messaged him on Instagram saying, dude, I can't believe you subscribed. I follow you. I'm so honored. He messaged me right back, which I was shocked. And then he asked for my cell phone number, and he calls me immediately, and he's like, hey, this is like October. He goes, hey, Festal's doing this thing in next year. I want to invite you to it. Would you want to come? That's the thing I went to with coffee. I wouldn't be here. I would not be talking to you had it not been for that video, because Jason would have never seen me. I would have never reached out to Jason. Jason would have invited me to the festival.
I don't want to put brakes on this, but I want to be very clear that Jason is a dirtbag. And I want to make it very clear on the podcast that he's a terrible person.
Yes.
He just makes shop sounds.
Yeah. He's
That's all he does. But he records with video, and that's his stuff.
Here's another thing.
I have to get my weekly dig on Jason. Yeah. I love it. Here. Smack the gavel.
Put him in his place.
No. I love you, Jason.
Apparently,
I'll talk to you in the morning on Peloton.
Oh, that's so funny. Apparently he roasted me in his. He told me today he roasts me in his upcoming video, so I can't wait to see what that's about. But so then, like,
is he still doing YouTube? That's good for him. I didn't know Jason was still doing that. Good for him. That's good.
Oh my gosh.
What's his name? Hibbs Works?
That's great. I like it. I think I covered everything in that. But
no, that's good, dude. That's super good insight for sure.
Crazy. Sedge saw that video. He was impressed. And that a Cam from Blacktail commented on that video. And so, I don't know if he's subscribed or not, but it was like that video changed my life.
That video was your breakout party, it sounds like.
It was. And here's the deal. I almost didn't upload it. I almost didn't finish it. And it wasn't even my idea.
So like one of the big takeaways I have from your story here is the algorithm, whether you're chasing it or not, nobody has the answer. Everybody's story is a little bit different. I mean, we heard from Eric. Eric's doing something completely different, and with you,
I think the point is like the it's based on your audience, no matter what, because the algorithm is going to adjust to what there's so many variables that there's just no right answer. There's no right answer. So,
I think I think the light bulb just came on for me, Dan, when you said that. I think the reason
I have that effect.
Yeah. Oh Lord. Because we can get frustrated sometime with YouTube and be like, I don't get it. But here's the deal. It's because people are so different.
Yeah.
It's because people are so diverse and different in what they like, what they don't like. And that's why what works for Cam, it doesn't work for me, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Or Eric, or Ben, or any of those guys.
Different. Yeah.
We're reaching different people.
Jason has his thing. He loves talking about tools, setting up tools, all that kind of, we can go into all those things, but all this insight is important. Your insight's good. I appreciate your insight. It's helped me.
Yeah, for sure. We all appreciate it.
Hearing everyone's story.
It's interesting to me because we've had a lot of, bigger YouTubers on here now, and they all kind of have a different approach, and it's interesting to me. Yeah. There's not one right answer.
Well, the thing is also I really like Eric a lot, but I don't find value. No, I don't find value in the way he approaches the thumbs and titles. I don't want to do it. It is obviously working for him, and it's going really well for him. I wouldn't want to do it even if it did work for me, because I am concerned about where it's going to end up being for him in the future and where it would be. And all that time spent and losing the trust of the audience scares me to death. So right now, there's all I'm saying is Drew's insight onto thumbs has helped me out a lot personally, and title and working all that together through talking with everyone in the community that I get to talk to who makes content, who's done very well at it, getting the core audience figured out, getting that trust of that core audience. And there's just so many things. There's so many facets to this, and it's so deep, and it's also interesting to hear. So this has been a real deep dive content talk, but let's jump into what's on our bench. Drew, I didn't explain to you that. It's very obvious what it is. We're just going to talk about our week, what we got going on right now. I'm going to play this thing. What's on my bench? And that's our little thing. I'm going to actually throw it to Dan first, so you can kind of see what's on my bench looks like.
I think he's ready.
Well, first of all,
I'm going to throw it to myself.
Dan made contact. Dan made eye contact with the teacher.
How'd you know? Finally made contact with a teacher last night. I won't go any further than that.
I said eye
Heyo.
contact. Oh my gosh.
Oh, there's more than eye contact.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of contact. Anyway, this got weird.
Please talk about your week, please.
You guys will never believe it, but
They both
we've actually been
lose it.
Are you making
No.
cutting boards? Are you making cutting boards?
No, I don't make cutting boards.
He's the insert king of Sarpy County.
I am the bow tie and insert king of Upper Sarpy County, Nebraska. Thank you very much.
Is it
Left
it's
Sarpy County.
It's Mike who makes cutting boards. My bad.
No.
Yeah, Mike is the
Mike,
cutting
yeah.
board king here.
Yeah, but then he puts feet on it and he calls them tables.
I put long feet on them.
Breadboard cutting boards.
They need to come up with a better name than long feet. We'll work it out sometime.
Damn it. I had the perfect show title, but that might be a winner. All right. Anyway, yeah, standard week for me. Etsy orders are, they're coming in. I even raised my prices, Mike. I went through and I raised my prices about
What
a
percent?
week and a half ago. 10%.
I told you, Dan. I
And
told
they're
you
still
raise your
coming in.
prices and they'd still be coming in. And if you raise it to 25%, you'll lose less than the
I
upside.
sold 3 of those tables today alone.
Nice.
That's great.
Damn.
I don't know why people are still buying them. Anyway, I appreciate
buying
people who
them.
are buying them. Thank you. So I had to go to Liberty Hardwood today and I dropped about 2 G's on walnut. Yay.
My boy.
What
Making
else?
more than that.
What else?
So that's good.
Oh, this isn't like something that's going on in my shop, but something that like changed how I do things in my shop. Jason Hibbs released a video last week that has had a very profound effect on me.
Very good video.
I mean, if you haven't watched his latest video, you really should.
haven't
He does
It's
a
fire. It's lit.
funny.
Is it fire?
It's literally fire. He does a test about how, we've all heard of spontaneous combustion and oily rags and stuff and how that can happen. And before I saw his video, I always thought, okay, yeah, this can happen, but it's like a 1 in 100, 1 in 200 chance. Like it's very rare. He did a video where
Every
he had
quarter,
like,
someone in our community loses their shop. It seems like I don't know
Yeah.
how many GoFundMe's I
but
can
he
share.
he did a video like, and I think he had like 18 18 controls,
Yeah.
and 3 of them caught on fire. One of them caught on fire 13 hours after he put it into the test. So it was like really mind-boggling. Please, if you have a wood shop or you work with wood or oily rags, go watch his video for the love of
Lumber
God.
Lab Woodworks in Florida. Justin Rustic Grains friend.
Yeah.
He literally on Tuesday lost his shop to Rubio rags. He just lost his
Yeah.
whole shop. It's like,
Rubio,
it's a thing.
boiled linseed oil, linseed
Anything
oil.
linseed oil.
raw.
Actually, that was the pure linseed oil was getting hotter than boiled.
Yeah, anyway,
But still, all
seriously,
of them potentially
everybody.
dangerous.
Don't mess around with that. It's legit. It's
after
not-
you
not
listen
a
to
thing.
our show, go watch that video. It is,
High five, Drew.
yeah.
I have a
Yeah,
I
what's
have a
up, Drew?
Okay, first of all, I am one of the only people in the community who haven't seen that video yet.
I haven't seen it either.
Mostly
I've been
because
recommending
have,
everybody go watch it. I'm sorry. It's
very
just,
good.
I think it's,
I have 3
must
small
watch.
children. I don't have 30 minutes, but I will watch it. It is, I told Jason this. I said, it is quite possibly one of the worst thumbnails in the space on YouTube right now. And how it got 500,000 views in 5 days speaks to one,
It's
Hibbs's audience trust,
Yeah.
and then the freaking scary topic of burning your shop down.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, your shop, your home.
yeah, yeah. So it proves like idea and having the audience's trust. You can have, and I've said like the word, and he goes, yeah, dude, I did that thumbnail at 2 a.m. when I
Yeah, that thumbnail is atrocious.
I chose it. But so I said, hey, dude, let's not mess with it. If or when that video flatlines, I'll make you a thumbnail and let's see if we can revive it.
Let's A/B
I don't know
that.
let's A/B it. Yeah, but not right now because I don't want to ruin because it's clearly working. It's clearly
Just change it to don't catch your kitchen on fire.
Anyways, it's just been a standard week for me. Blah, blah, blah. Petey, what you got going on?
That's
Bubba?
me. I'm that guy. So last Saturday we had our vendor event, and we're getting all prepped for that since Workbench Con, because I came back from Workbench Con right into finishing up a commission, and then I was like, oh, I have a week and a half to make a bunch of cutting boards, coasters, a bunch of other stuff, just to
that's
restock
right.
everything.
Pete's the cutting board guy. I
am the cutting board guy. Yes, I make cutting boards once, maybe twice a year. I make a huge batch out of all my scrap, and then I don't make them. I don't make custom cutting boards for people. I make boards, and if you want one, you choose what I got.
Have you heard of Ginny and Davis?
Never. No, never. Don't follow them at all. I don't know who they are. Definitely not a fan. Yeah, I do follow them. Yeah, they make a killing. They're machines when it comes to cutting boards. But no, I just like I got tired of like making custom boards, one-offs or whatever, and I had to stock all the wood that I was offering. And I'm like, nah, screw this. So I just started making them, and I made like, I want to say 15 for this show. We sold about 5 of the ones that I made and a couple of the older ones. And now I have stock for like the next show that we've got coming up. This was kind of a slow one, unfortunately, because there was it rained a lot that day and it was really cold. So we didn't get a ton of traffic, but I mean, still made $450. So that's not bad. You know,
How
for
much,
one
how
day.
much do you sell them for?
The boards go anywhere from $20 to $250. So I mean, it's from like simple little, like, you know, just like one that
Coaster?
you have like a bar board, like something that's, you know, like 6-7 inches by 8-9 inches.
And it's all scrap.
It's literally all scrap. Well, not all of it, but a lot of it is scrap. Some of the smaller ones are just like thinner stock that I might not usually use. I might just do for like panel glue ups. But a lot of it, honestly, what sold like hotcakes was, and I cannot explain this, but it was,
Charcuterie boards.
no. It was all the
Baja
boards I made
Blast.
out of trash walnut, like trash, like ready to go. Literally, like Keith Johnson, KJ brought over like 2 giant trash cans full of his scraps off of one of the
Total
walnut
boat,
projects he was
baby.
working on. Total boat, baby. And he brought it over, and all of it had like a little bit of meat left, and then like was like live edge, right? Or some kind of crappy bug holes or whatever. So I was like, all right, let me see if I can salvage any of this. So I like just ripped a bunch of it because it was already S2S. I ripped up, or S3S. So I ripped a bunch of it on a table saw, just like some salvage pieces. I'm like, I'll glue up the sapwood. I don't know if
People
I
love
like
that.
it, whatever. I
It's
glued
a
it
lot
up.
of character.
Honestly, those boards were kind of my favorite. I'm like, this is so unique because it's not just like straight, consistent walnut. It's different. First boards that sold, all of those live edge, or not live edge, but the sapwood, heartwood, walnut boards sold, especially the ones that were like a full like mix of like purples to grays to browns. Like when you're getting that like really weird mix of colors, people loved them. Like, and I got like $300, end grain boards that people were like, that's nice. Tell me about this one. I'm like, it's made of trash. Okay.
Hey, but they're telling you that's your audience profile,
Right?
They're telling
that's
you
the thing.
something.
I did
They're telling
a
you something.
poll at a small town in a high school vendor event, and the public has spoken. They want sapwood.
Hey, dude.
So anyway, so that was
You're gonna hate
interesting.
my next video.
But but the thing was, like, I don't do a lot of vendor events. We just started doing them last year. But I like these like prep days because I kind of batch out a bunch of stuff. We got coasters, we got these like book holders, bottle openers, a bunch of laser cut projects, some kits, and it's all made now. So I have just 2 totes of all the material sitting in a basement. It's not sitting all over my shop, and it's just ready to be literally brought out and set up on a table again. Or if somebody has an event or a wedding, or we need a gift, I could just pull a board out, laser it, and then pass it on. So I like doing these vendor events just because it gets some stock built up, and it allows me to then not take on commissions and do a lot of fun projects for myself, which is nice too. So aside from that, apparently Sedge, speaking of Sedge earlier, Sedge did a video and he shouted out my those Festool clamp stops that I made for him.
Oh yeah.
And I have not stopped selling them. They've been I've probably sold about 50 sets of varying numbers within the last week and a half. So thank you, Sedge. You rock. And it's bringing, obviously, that's growing the other traffic in the shop too. So I've been pretty busy in the print shop. Aside from, well, speaking of printing Prusa, the company that I use for a lot of, or all of my printers pretty much, just released the fourth, like the Mark IV of their printers. And there's a lot of speculation, but basically it was kind of a response to the new Bamboo Labs printer, which mine's landing tomorrow. I'm very excited for that. So that's
I've got a
tomorrow.
Bamboo.
I saw you got the P1P, right? Yeah.
Right here, and I've got a Mark III. They're like facing each other, and I don't use the Prusa anymore.
I use the Mark III because I sometimes I'll be printing like I need 3 printers doing this, 4 printers doing that. Because the reason I got more printers than I need is A, I had some money in the business, so I was like, let's invest it in the future. And B was I can print 9 different things at once and walk away for the night. And I trust that machine to run overnight. Whereas like the Bamboo's awesome. It's fast. It's super, accurate, but like, I don't want to be down in a print shop every 4 hours restarting a print. I want to set 9 printers going, come back in 10 hours, and they're all done. That's kind of my strategy right now. So anyways, there's a lot going around right now. There's a lot of drama between like, oh, are you going to upgrade? Are you going to get new ones? Are you going to sell these? Are you going to go Bamboo? So there's a lot of 3D printing drama. It really is. Like, it's kind of funny because like you don't see this when like Festool or SawStop drops a new tool. Everyone's like arguing over which one's better. What's up?
I am surprised. I'm surprised at how I was not expecting the Bamboo to give me a better print quality than the Prusa.
It's fantastic. The enclosure is a huge part of that. So
I don't have an enclosure.
Oh, that's right. You got the P1P.
I have the P1P.
But still, they gave me. It does a really good job.
It's the same print speeds. It's just
Now, granted, the Prusa is open source, so there's like that whole part of it. So it's a little easier to fix and third-party parts, and you can really modify it. So there's a lot of pros and cons for all of them. And I'm not getting rid of my Prusas. I'm still very happy to have them. I'm not buying the Mark IV right now.
Yeah, why would you get rid of them if they work? It doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. And honestly, I've been kind of going back and forth with like pros and cons, and I'm like, I'm not even going to upgrade them right now. There's no need for me to upgrade them. Why would you?
If they work, they work.
Well, the initial launch made it sound like
features,
cool features, new board, new LCD screen, and like it was going to print faster. Found out today it's not going to print faster at launch. It's something they're still tweaking. They hope to have it out by this summer or something. So like you can, but not as accurately as they would like. So it's a lot of marketing and whatnot. But anyways, so there's been a lot of drama in the 3D printing world, and I'm caught up in it, unfortunately, but I really don't have any hard opinions on it. I'm just going to keep doing my thing and keep trying out other things. So I'm excited for my Bamboo to land tomorrow. Aside from that, I've just been doing landscaping, garden prep. The weather got nicer, and then it got freezing cold. Today was 29 degrees. On Saturday, it's going to be 73. Makes no sense. But
it was 45 yesterday. Today it was 78.
Yeah, it just makes no sense.
That's coming your way, buddy.
Yeah, that's 74 is coming to me now on the weekend. So, but that's been my week. It's been busy with a bunch of and also resetting after making all those cutting boards and everything. And I took 3 days out of the shop, and it was really nice. Well, Mike, what's up with you?
Dan looks like he's got something going on.
I need to amend my my womb here.
Okay.
What's on my bench? I forgot. I think I mentioned this last week that I was getting a second CNC. It landed. Yeah. I got it put together. We made the table for it. The table is wonky AF. You guys know, you've seen my shop, that I have that little weird step up in the back, and that's where I got my journeyman at. But the one little space that I had left in my shop to put the woodworker Onefinity on, I had to make the table with 2 different length of legs. Like the table is bigger than the step up, so the legs in the back are like much shorter than the legs in the front. Anyways, it looks really weird, but it's working.
Mike does.
Yeah, and
they're not supposed to do that. Your long feet aren't supposed to be different sizes.
They say no, but I don't know. The jury's still out. But anyways, so when I made the table, the only place I had was that spot, and then of course it blocks the electrical panel.
Perfect.
Yeah. So, of course, the internet being the internet, they all pointed out that, that's breaking code. And
like everyone else is doing.
No, I think that's a bad idea. I really do.
I do too. It's super dumb.
I can't imagine that that's going to last over time.
I don't think it'll matter.
Well,
But
just the
think, like,
CNC
the hold down
working
situation is such a pain in the neck.
The hold down would be a pain in the butt. The way the dust falls on the machine, the way the machine fights gravity over time, I think in the long run it's just not good for the machine. I can't see it working. I mean, maybe if you're using the machine like here and there, a couple hours a week, but you know, I'm using my machines, you know, 8 hours a day. I don't think it's a good idea. Anyway, thought I'd mention that. And my beefy Z slider is actually supposed to be here tomorrow, so I'm upgrading the Journeyman to a spindle.
Whoa!
Probably tomorrow.
I've heard
Finally.
that
Time. Are you gonna
I've
get
only
that
had
screw
that
out
spindle
finally?
for a year and a half.
Are you gonna get that screw out finally?
No, I'm just taking off the whole assembly because I got the whole new slider. So yeah, I don't have to take off the screw. Screw that screw. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, now we could pitch it to Mike. I thought we would.
Hey,
talk
Mike,
about
what's
that
up
real
with
quick.
you?
Well, I actually canceled my order from my Bamboo X1 carbon because I don't have time right now to deal with it. Because my new CNC is coming in 3 weeks. So I'm very excited about that.
Did you also get the Onefinity Woodworker?
I got a Onefinity Woodworker. I actually got the Junior Woodworker. It's only 20 by 20.
Cool.
It runs.
But it's a Junior Woodworker.
It runs one of those
XL.
powered screwdrivers. It's sick, dude. No, you can only run 16th inch collet bits. It's pretty wild. No, I got my new CNC ordered up, which is really, it's everything's done. All the paperwork's all through. Everything's got funded. It's good to go. New CNC's coming. I'm super excited about that. I got the Laguna Smart Shop 2 Pro. It's a 4x8 with a 12 horsepower spindle, a 10 horsepower vac bed, and an 8-tool auto changer. I've got an 8-foot long 4th axis coming with it.
Oh my!
I am stoked.
Did you have to build an entire new building to store all those horses?
Close.
Yeah, so many horses.
There's 20 according to my math.
Mike, why didn't you go with the X-Carve?
I wanted something that wasn't made of bologna and toothpicks. So no, I'm really excited about this machine. It's gonna be super fun. We're getting into more cabinetry. We're taking on more cabinetry work. I'm pricing up more cabinetry work, which is fun. I'm actually really enjoying that. We're super busy right now, but we've got like all this production work coming down the line, and having both machines running is going to be nice, like really nice, because we're going through a lot of sheet goods. We're doing a lot of slab flattening. We're making a lot of custom parts. And I have an idea for something that I was actually going to talk to you guys after we get out of the show, because I have an idea for something I'm going to launch on my site that I'm very excited about for the community. So anyway, this new CNC's coming. I knew that I needed to get an air system for it. I didn't realize how beefy of an air system I have to get for it. I'm going to be Matt and I tomorrow are going to be running the electrical for the new air compressor. I got to get an 80-gallon or more air compressor. The one I got is I'm going to get an Ingersoll Rand with a 5 horsepower.
I was confused.
So the air compressor cools the spindle. The air compressor runs the pneumatic set pin. So
so it's not water cooled, it's air cooled?
No, it's an Italian air-cooled spindle. So they
Italians, damn it.
So on the X and Y, there is pneumatic pins that come out. They're your 0. So the pins pop up, and then you put your sheet good in there, and that sets your 0. And then the vacuum table sucks it down, and then the pins go down, and then they're out of the way. The air also runs the boot, the dust boot. You can open and close the boot, and it also runs the auto tool changer.
Oh, so it's the whole bop-a-boopy system. Okay, cool.
Yes. So anyways,
That was an Italian joke.
It's the whole bippity boppity.
No, it was in English, Dan. Listen.
So yeah, we that's coming in soon, and we're looking on a new there's going to be probably a new laser coming in the shop, which is very exciting. I'll talk more about that in a couple of weeks. I'll have more information on that. I can't really talk about that right now. This is something that I'm very excited about. It's going to be cool. And then
lasers are hot as far as I know.
Sharks with friggin' laser beams on their head. No, and then
shop's on fire.
We're
Those
getting
lasers.
new dust collection in the shop, which I am super excited to share about the dust collection. It is going to be sick. Like this is going to be a huge step up for us. And I can't talk about it for a couple more weeks as well. So, but that's going to be really exciting. So we're getting some new stuff coming in. There's going to be a new shaper coming in the shop, which is going to be good because we're like.
Can you
now that we
talk
have a
about
shaper-
that or?
Yeah, I'm getting a Laguna 5 horsepower shaper. And then I'm getting,
shaper.
Not
Oh,
3D,
not
okay.
Shaper Origin.
2D,
Shaper
2D.
No, not
Sean.
Shaper Origin, not Shaper
2D.
Short, not Shaper Origin. I don't need 3 origins. That's loot. I'm not Drew Witt, who has 3 origins. That was the comment Drew made on my
3
post
origin
about the origin.
stories.
He's like, I have 3 origins. That's all he said. No,
Did I?
yeah, you're
I
like,
didn't
I
do
have
that.
3 origins. That's your only comment on the post. It was pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Um,
I have 0.
Yeah,
for
no.
the record.
It was anyway, we're tooling up right now. We're getting ready because this year there's a lot of stuff coming down the pipe, and I'm really excited about this year. So we're getting all tooled up for that, and there's some cool stuff coming up. So we're doing this desk right now that's really slick. I really like it a lot. It's a fun desk. We're doing a nice table this week. Well, I guess it's the end of the week. We're starting that mostly next week. We're gonna put some really long feet on that one. It's gonna be super nice. It's gonna be
36 inches or
it's
longer.
gonna be 36-inch long feet. No, so and also I did this build. We're doing this YouTube video for I'm building a benchtop Moxon vise, which I've wanted to build for myself for like 2 years. I've had this hardware, and I screwed up the build and I didn't realize it till the last part was going together. So I'm very fortunate that I actually now have a hook for this video because I didn't clickbait screw up the build. I literally screwed up the build at the
I
last
actually
part of the
effed
build.
up.
I actually effed up
I
this
built a
whole
video
build
around
again.
it.
Yeah, I actually
It's
have
gonna be
the
a throwaway
hook on
video.
accident.
Now because I effed up, it's gonna be a premiere video. That's great.
That would be a great title. I actually effed up.
I actually effed up.
I was
so-
gonna
Not-
clickbait
and then
you,
like
but
not
then I effed up.
not clickbait.
But-
Yeah, I actually effed up. Not clickbait. Moxon
There you
Vice
go.
build. Yeah, no, it's I'm
with a
actually
Maleki
excited about that.
face.
Yeah, I'm gonna
tonsils
put
and everything.
Maleki's face over my face, and but I'm gonna have Hasselhoff's body from Baywatch.
Okay.
Well, you
Okay.
have
With
There we go.
Maleki's
There we go.
face.
Yeah. I think AI can do that.
Yeah, AI can do anything from what
Mm.
I've learned this week. Dan has terrible ideas. I can see it in his face. No,
Watch
So anyway, yeah, we're
the
doing that.
AWP Insta page for new.
oh no,
He's dying.
Pete, get over
keep
there.
Going, no, keep going with what's on the bench.
Get over there. No, Pete,
did
you
not
need to
mute.
give him the thing. He's gonna die again.
Thumb? The thumb.
Yeah, no, not thumbs up. You have to give him the Heimlich thing. Remember that one time at the ethnic sandwiches? No, he's fine. Everyone
I'll
is
call it-
listening. Dan, this is a joke. Dan is actually just fine. He's going
Mr.
cow
Pickles.
dog
Every time we have a
AF right
guest, we
now on that.
explain that Dan died.
Yeah.
Almost.
That was
Dan
weird.
just went cow dog AF on that hot dog and almost died. So
The worst part is I'm not even eating a hot dog.
that
I
is
don't know
Choking
what
on
happened.
life.
you should have a shirt that says the worst part is I'm not even eating a hot dog, but have no other reference to anything else. Just like that's the whole
I mean,
statement.
That shirt
Is
would
that-
track. That would be good.
Is that the episode title? I think that's
Yeah, the
episode
The worst
title.
part is I'm not even eating a hot dog.
Oh gosh.
That's the
Anyways.
episode title.
Yeah, start writing.
I choked on air, you guys.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
realize
it's-
I just choked on
definitely
air.
don't have
Yeah.
apnea. Anyway, Drew, what do you got going on this week? What's up with you, man? You got any new
Oh
videos
my
coming out?
gosh.
Mm.
I do. Well, I actually have something on my bench. I don't do a whole lot of commissions. I only do maybe 1 or 2 a year when it's if the project's interesting or I can make a good video about it, I'll do it. And so right now,
Sell out.
right now I've been using my X Carve. I'm sorry, it's what I got. I've been using my X Carve to do these. It's like a cutout of the state of Rhode Island. It's beautiful.
I think somebody put you up to saying that.
Topographical map of Rhode Island.
Oh gosh, I was trying to. I worked on that all day. I worked on that.
You've
all
been
day.
trying to work that into the joke.
Oh, you did
Yeah.
more prep for this show than we did.
I did. Clearly. No.
You may
that-
think we prep for this, but we don't.
Oh, no one. Don't worry.
No one
you
thinks.
prep.
Yeah, no one thinks you prep.
Okay.
I just set an 8:45 alarm on Thursdays and then go, oh, that's right, that's today.
Oh, that's today. 3 years now. I'll
Okay,
remember
also-
sometime.
with all seriousness, I have later this week a really cool video coming out, and then I shot the final footage for another video that I am working on. So one of the cool things about that, I was telling the story about the Festool vacuum is like the crazy thing was like whenever I was at Festool, like Festool employees would come up to me and say, "Oh, we loved your video," and it was mind blowing to me that like
It's
people
required
had-
reading over there.
I guess so, right? So, but one of the things that unlocked is like I'm a nobody, and yet these brands reach out to me, and I'm like making the videos on my dime. I did a video about extract sandpaper, and like the head of 3M Abrasive saw it and like said it was their favorite video that anyone's ever done about them. And they just called me yesterday. This is, and they're like, "Hey, we have a, we want to give away a vacuum and a sander. Could you do a thing?" And I was like, "Yeah." So like our next maker of the month, we're going to give away like a $900 vacuum and a $500 sander. Pretty crazy.
Wow. It's awesome.
You have a line to the CEO of 3M. Is that what I heard?
No.
No, it's Festool.
Oh man.
He's
I
got the
have
number of the
the-
assistant to the regional manager.
I
of
have the
extracting.
email. Now Derek from Malden has the cell phone.
Well, if
number.
you have any contacts over there, could you relay a message for me? I appreciate the random boxes I get at my doorstep from 3M. I really do.
from 3M?
Yeah.
You get boxes from 3M?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow,
I
I
there
get
was
that.
one on my doorstep when I got home
I
from
don't
Florida.
get that. I don't get that.
But I don't have
they
a
want-
5-inch
I don't get
sander.
any.
Yeah, I know. That's what I messaged. I was like, thanks for the cup. I gave the
Yeah, I've been
discs
using the
to
crap
a
out of that
local
cup, that
woodworker.
new Yeti cup.
Yeah, they
I
keep
can't
sending
use the
5-inch
paper.
discs. I'm like, I don't know why
I
you're
don't have a
sending
Stanley
5-inch
cup.
discs.
I just threw that out.
Yeah, who drinks out of
Oh
those?
man. Okay, so
I can't
Mike-
wait for those Craftsman cups to drop.
that's so good. Cobalt.
Or Cobalt.
Cobalt.
Master Force.
Yes, I love
Dan.
too close. Okay, so
Too soon.
here's another crazy story. Is
Menards.
in like Black Friday, I ended up pre-ordering the Milwaukee track saw, and then I forgot I ordered it, and then it showed up. I forget when, a couple months ago, and so I did a unboxing video on it. Stupid. That video got 300,000 views in 8 days.
On YouTube?
When I on YouTube, this
Yeah.
thing called YouTube. So it was at the time there were only 2 other videos about it, but they were sponsored by Milwaukee. So it was clearly a timing thing. I think if I uploaded that video today, I'd get 5,000 views. There was just no videos about it, and I just opened the box and did a quick video and turned around the next day, and it was supply and demand purely. But this is epic. When I flew to Festool headquarters for the event that Mike was at, when I landed, I opened my phone and I opened Instagram, and there's a message request, and it's from a rep at Milwaukee who says, "Hey, we saw your video. We want to talk to you about a different product that's coming out. Can you talk?" And I legitimately said, sorry, I can't talk right now. I just landed at Festool's headquarters and I'm busy for the next 2 days. It was like the perfect, and I wasn't trying to like,
Flex.
it was like perfect and since then we've talked to the guy and we've become good friends, and I'm really excited to do something with him. But that's kind of the point that caught time back to that earlier thing. I'm going somewhere with this, okay? Is like you make a video that gets traction and it gets the attention of the brands who are watching. Okay. Well, so there's another tool company, I won't name them. But they are launching a track saw. No one knows about it.
Are you crazy on them?
Roy Boy? Ryobi?
No, they have a track
Crazy
saw.
on you.
Ryobi? Are you talking about? No, they're
Yeah,
they're
Roy
track
Boy,
saw's crap.
Ryobi. That's what I said.
Roy
They already have a track saw.
Yeah.
They already have a track
do you guys
saw, and
want?
I already did a video and I roasted them. Okay, no. So
Boom, roasted.
almost
I didn't even know
no
they had
one-
a track song.
no
Neither
one
did they.
has.
They hit the market. They weren't even aware of it.
Showed up at
yeah.
Home Depot. They're like, "Oh, we make that? Okay."
They actually don't even sell it in the store. This is weird, but
You can
but,
only buy
like-
it behind a Kmart from a
Only
guy
get it
named
through a
Costco in
giveaway?
his van.
Behind the Taco Bell.
Baja Blast,
Yeah.
Ryobi track saws.
Each Ryobi track saw comes with like 32-ounce big gulp of Baja Blast.
Totally, yeah. So all that to say, gosh, long story is I'm really excited. My next video that's dropping is like an exclusive world premiere of a track saw that no one knows about. And it only is possible because of all these other videos I did that got a track. So I'm
That's
really
sick.
interested. I'm interested to see what it does. Because like no one knows about it. And so I'm wondering, is it gonna do like what Milwaukee did? Or is it going to be a flop because it's on no one's radar? So
I bet it's
it comes out.
I mean, it sounds like with this
can't-
track saw, you could save money and
confirm.
live better. You know, that's all
Stop
I'm
it.
saying.
Yeah. So yeah, this episode comes out on Sunday, so it will have the video will be out by the time. So just go check it out. I'm really, really proud. It's also like my first official sponsorship, and I got 5 figures for it. I am
Action figures or
That's 7.
Not including the decimal, Pete. You got 5 figures.
Well, I was gonna- I'm not the math guy. That's
You
Dan.
got $732.47 for the deal. 5 figures. Decimals matter. All right.
Metric.
that's
That's
true.
sick. No, that's sick. That's cool. So you got a world exclusive tool with a big, well, I'm assuming a big brand. I know the brand. I've
Yeah.
I've heard
DJ
of it.
Khaled track saws.
DJ Khaled. All I do is cut.
Another one.
Big shout out to Jimmy. Jimmy DeResta was a huge without Jimmy it wouldn't have happened. So I'll say that. Jimmy hooked me up.
nice.
But I did a video today I've been working on for a while, and it's about how I'm still trying to figure out how to title it and position it. But
Wait, is it a track saw drenched
No.
in like dressed denim?
no, but that'd be nice. This
You're
is
welcome.
it's a story about how I turned $1,000 of walnut into $5,500, but I hated it. And I regret doing it. So
You like describe my last 2 weeks.
you have no idea. So that's I'm really nervous about I've been in a creative slump, and so it's like this video could either be really, really great or be trash, and I don't know. But I feel like a lot of times people make these videos about I made this much money, but they don't talk about the other sides of the story. Like, did you enjoy it? How much time did you spend away from your
I made this
kids?
much money, but I hated every
What-
second of it.
What was your shop cost? Like, did you include the time, like the 5 trips you had to make to Home Depot? Did you account for all the weight? Like, it's not just as simple as like I got this pallet and made $1,500. Like,
Nah, it's always the positive spin only, the Instagram positive spin only.
exactly. Yeah. So this video is like, okay, yeah, I made $5,500. However, it cost me this, and at the end of the day,
They always
There's
talk about
these
revenue.
other-
They never talk about profit. It's
Mhm.
hilarious.
yeah. At the end of the day, the I lost money because there's another thing that I wasn't doing that would actually make me more money. But $5,500. How'd you know? How'd you know?
I knew it.
So I don't know. I'm really nervous about the video, and I might be overthinking it. But the last couple of ones
Well-
I've done have not been great, so I'm not in my head.
I do have an audio clip of the conversation between you and Jimmy and helping you with that video.
Jimmy! I sent you a cup of my blood. Can you get my blood?
That is so good.
Spot on. Spot on.
I have
all right,
no. I
we're
have
gonna
no. I don't get
Go.
why you guys are the worst woodworking podcast out there. I don't.
We
get it.
We are
don't.
the worst.
Yeah.
We don't know either.
Honestly,
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
I'm gonna play questions though, so
I'm just excited for that Starbond track song. That's gonna be really great.
Starbond track. Oh, it's wild that they were to integrate the activator into the track.
It's right in the blade. The blade is activated.
Right.
It's activator tip blade.
Blade activator.
It lays down the painter's tape. It does the activator.
all right. Let's get into questions. We got to blast through these two. We're
We have
like way
questions.
into this episode. All right. First question is from Braden.
Hey guys, it's Braden with Little Bug Woodworking, aka LB Dubs. My question this week is for Drew. My man, I love all your stuff. It's great, but I really want to know, when do you plan on getting back to the sort of content that the people really want? Man, when are we getting another lawn care video? Because spring is here and my lawn is looking a little rough and I need some guidance. Hope you guys have a great night. Hope you have a great show. Catch you later.
When's the next lawn video dropping?
Braden, I'm going to save us both some time. Just go watch the lawn care nut.
Perfect.
Right.
It's the best answer
Like-
we could get for this question.
Yeah. I'm not.
You
not
heard it
doing
here.
anymore.
It's a world first exclusive. Go watch Lawn Care Nut. All right. The next one is
Another
from
one.
Malcolm in the Middle from Boston Nova Woodworks.
Hey guys, it's Malcolm from Boston Nova
Whisper.
Woodworks, and I see that
So
you have
nice.
Drew Witt on the show. That's great. I get to ask him this. Hey Drew, I see that you called me a cheater this week, even though just getting pro tips from Jimmy DeRessa doesn't make me a cheater. That's cool. That's cool. So my question is, why is your channel called Wittworks when I never see you doing any actual work in your videos? Okay. Have a good day, guys. Bye.
I feel like there might be a rivalry blossoming here or something.
Nice. So funny. I'll answer the question after I tell you a funny story. I was playing soccer with my sons tonight, about an hour before this podcast. Is this a podcast? Whatever.
We
this
call it
thing
a
is.
podcast. We don't know.
And my boys are really competitive, and I don't know what happened. I think it was like the ball went out of bounds and they were going to throw it in, and I was like getting in the way to try to like inhibit their pass, because it's like dad versus both of them. And my son Grayson goes, "You can't do that, cheater. Remember Malcolm, cheater." And like my 8-year-old son was like trolling Malcolm while playing soccer. And it's like,
Yes.
I thought it was the greatest thing. I was like, because he had watched the video, which is why I got to keep my videos clean. And he was like calling me a cheater and then saying, "Remember Malcolm in your video? You're doing the same thing." It was awesome. And I was just keeping him from throwing the ball in. It was awesome. Malcolm's
dad
question,
moment.
why don't I build things? If you go to my channel and look at like the early stuff that I did that are build videos, they all have like 100 views. And then I would do a Makita track saw video, and I got like 30,000 views on that video when I had like 20 or 30 subscribers. And so I picked up early on, like, no one wants to watch me build, but if I talk about a tool, I'll get like if you had 30 subscribers and you did a video and it got 30,000 views and made you a bunch of affiliate, well, what would you do? You wouldn't go do a build video. They're
Right.
harder.
Yeah,
They
Do the
take
thing
longer.
that's making money.
You do the thing that's making you money. And so although I did do a build video in January and it got 100,000 views in a week, and I worked really, really hard at that. But as Derek from Malden points out, he's like, "You didn't show any woodworking. You just talked about it." I'm like, "Well, that's how I
Show
got
some leg.
100,000 views." Show some leg. Yeah.
Perfect.
There
Malcolm,
you go.
you're
love
out of the
Malcolm.
circle. You don't ever attack our guests again. No, this next one's from Thomas. He's French. He's from Canada.
He's
I
from
think. No,
French.
he's from actual France, right? Yeah, no, he's not
Yeah,
a fake French. Yeah.
French
He's got
proper.
this
He's not
outrageous accent. Oh,
French
no,
classic.
No, he's a free. Yeah, he's not new
Classic.
French. Okay.
No, yeah.
Here we go. Thomas.
French. French. Hey guys, my question for tonight is about jigs. I wonder, does using jigs makes you a better woodworker, or does a good woodworker knows when it's worth the time to make a jig? Also, are you planning on making a April Fool's Day video special? I know I planned one. I just love those. Alright, thanks. Bye, guys.
I think that jigs are the sign of a good woodworker. I think that jigs, I think that a jig is something that you have to have. You're thinking of the process ahead of time. You're thinking about saving time and money. You're thinking about accuracy and repeatability. I think that's the sign of a good woodworker myself. I very honestly did not understand the second part to his question.
Oh, are you planning on making an April Fool's video?
100% not doing that this year, but I have
Howard?
one set up. But we do have a bit that we're going to start working into the videos that I'm actually
It's
very
overdone.
excited about. It is overdone. I don't like them. I think they're kind of hackish a bit.
Lazy.
The April Fool's videos. Yeah,
They
it's
are
like,
lazy and hackish.
they are lazy hack videos, and honestly, they make me sick. No, I mean, for me, we have a bit we're going to start working into the videos, and I actually am very excited about it because it's pretty funny. The joke is going to be like, Sean does something just like very innocuous, and I just fire him, and I just go off the handle, like, and I'm like, ah, and I like lose it, and like the next shot is like an office style interview of Sean, like, I hate working for that hack anyway. He makes me listen to Coldplay all day, and it's like something like that, and then like
tracks.
And then like the next day, like it's like him, like the next shot is him coming into the shop, and I'm like, hey buddy, how's your night? He's like, oh, it's good. And we just start working and don't even address that I fired him. So it's like gonna be this like bit we're gonna roll into the videos. I think it'll be pretty funny. So
That would be
that's
awesome.
Wouldn't that be good? Like it's just gonna be like unhinged firing, like, get out of here. He's like, and he's like, I quit, and I'm like, you can't quit, you're fired. Like it's gonna be, we got this whole thing figured out. It's gonna be solid. So
Could you work in like, and I'm hiring Jason Bent in your place?
yeah, absolutely work.
I'm gonna get a clip of Jason Bent pushing a broom or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, this is Bent level work. You're out of here.
Yeah, you gotta do it. You gotta do it.
No, that's the one thing we're actually gonna work that into some of the videos, and we're gonna try to make it like a regular gag. So,
did you know he trolled you in his recent video?
I did. I haven't watched it yet. I need to watch it. You know what? I honestly love Jason's videos.
Mike doesn't watch YouTube.
I don't have time. I just don't have time to watch YouTube. That's the worst thing. Like I
Peloton.
just don't have time. I can't on the Peloton because I'm watching.
Because you're watching a dude on a bike sweating and motivating you.
Oh man, those dudes
really
are hot,
weird,
man. no.
Hi, I'm Tyler. I'm gonna show you how to flex your muscles while you're on a bike. Now let's do this uphill while I do an overly personal story. I don't know.
How's that new suit, Pete? Anyway,
fills me out. Why fill it out? I don't know.
Oh, no, he doesn't fill you out. Gross. Pete, why don't you answer Tomon's question?
Jigs are great. Jigs are the best, and honestly, one of the things I love using my CNC.
He's not talking about Polish dances.
Yeah. Get jiggy with it. I use my laser, my CNC for making jigs so much, and it's so nice to be able to like model it and get a perfect, accurate, exact thing that you want. Jigs is where it's at. Ain't that right, Drew?
I do like jigs.
There you go.
Wow. Yeah, it's
good,
awkward.
Good pickup on that handout.
That was some weird energy you threw right at Drew. Poor guy.
I was gonna go to Dan, but I'm like, let's throw it to this guy.
If you guys weren't paying me $10,000, I would not be here.
Whoa. We don't want that getting out.
Don't cash the check till the 3rd because it's gonna bounce.
The 3rd of 2029.
2029, yes. When I'm dead and gone.
I agree with everything Mike said. It's the sign of a good woodworker. And I struggle with like, my mind doesn't think like that because I guess I'm not a woodworker. But I love a good jig. I love a good jig, but there's sometimes like like I was talking to Mike about like this thing I'm doing on the bandsaw.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, I can't, there's got to be a way to like do this. And I can't. And he's like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. And he just figured it out. I'm like, I'm dumb. So I like jigs. I just can't think them up a lot of the time.
Pull from the community. It helps. Dan,
I also enjoy jigs and figs for that matter. But every good woodworker I know uses jigs on a regular basis. Rather it's a pre-built jig that they've been using forever or one that they make on the fly. I mean, every good woodworker I know makes them, including Mike. So
walls of even me. All the good workers he knows has them, and I use them.
Yeah. So
I love it.
Yeah, and what was his other question?
April Fool's content. Are you making April Fool's content?
Oh, I'm not making it.
I legitimately, no joke, I cannot stand April Fool's Day. I hate it. I usually don't get online. I hate April Fools with a passion. I will stay offline of all internet.
I love a good troll. So,
I need to cut in with this because there is a Polish holiday around April Fool's.
Of course there is.
No, but like legitimate, and I just want to talk about it because of how ridiculous this is.
All right.
It's called,
everybody buckle up.
All right, everybody grab a pen and pencil. It's called Schmingos Dingus.
Okay.
I'm not even kidding.
You can't just say sounds and pretend they're Polish words.
Hold on. Can you spell that for me for reasons?
I'll try. But
Dan, have the censor beep ready.
Polish holiday where basically it's like super soaker day. Like you just soak each other with water, but like traditionally before, like there was water balloons and like giant super soaker guns. Like guys would just like soak girls with water, and like you just dump buckets of water on each other. This is a legit thing. People would dump water on each other from like a window onto people walking on a street, and like they'd get mad, but not really because it's that day.
It's Migo Digo Day or whatever the hell you said.
Closest to Polish you
Baja
have ever
Blast Fridays. That's what it roughly translates to.
No, this is a legit thing. Bing it. It's a thing. And I just have to
not gonna bing it because I don't know how to spell it.
Bing.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Schmigo Bigo. It's S with a little circle above it.
I forget if it happens on April Fool's.
With 2 dots.
Schmigo Bigo, isn't that the one who got
right
the one ring of power from Lord of the Rings? Schmigo Bigo?
No, it's the one who controlled them all.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was great. I'm really glad we went into that crazy rabbit hole.
I think we could have a whole show around Schmigo Bigo Day.
I mean, that is a good show title.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's April 10th. So we got time, guys.
Oh,
you liar. This next question is written in from John Scheiser. Did I say it right?
What?
No,
what?
She.
Oh,
sir.
She, sir. John Scheiser. I apologize, John.
She, sir.
I've been saying,
no.
Those.
She, sir.
Are those pronouns that he goes by? She, sir.
Yes.
She's her. She's John. She's her. She's her. No. All right. No. I've been saying his name wrong for years.
She's who?
John. She's her. She's her. John asks, written question. Drew, your channel is blown up recently. If you could go back in time and give yourself some advice, what would you tell yourself? And how does it relate to Rhode Island and Baja Fresh? Baja Blast, dang it. Baja Fresh sounds like another YouTuber
car freshener.
I don't have time to make meals every night, so I order from Baja Fresh.
They send me Baja Blast daily.
Baja Blast. When I need my daily dose of Baja, when I need my daily Baja Blast.
Baja Fresh.
This video.
Hell with Schmigo Bigo. I think we're going Baja Fresh.
With their new patent technology.
Baja.
Drew, we got to get out of this rabbit hole quick. Yeah. What advice would you give yourself?
Oh gosh. Think for me, it would be really think about the quality of the idea of the video, the title and thumbnail, and think like a distributor for my goals. That's not
what would Oprah do?
What would Oprah do? Yeah. And I like the idea. I think Hibbs is a great example of the right idea. Like the fire video, that is a brilliant, why has no one else done that? That's a brilliant
Because they're cowards.
They probably didn't think of it. Or they
probably don't have shops big enough to set up an 18 spot square
18 bucket squares.
But that,
3 by 7. I don't know what it 8 equals 18.
But does YouTube need any more crosscut sled videos? No.
Ouch.
Right. No.
Ouch.
Wow. I'm gonna throw away this script. Okay.
So, but I'm saying but it's the quality idea, and I wish when I started I would have really worked so much harder instead of working hard on do I have the right camera, do I have the right light, really working hard on do I have the right idea. That would have shortened my learning curve so much.
That's good. Super helpful. Questions for everyone. This is concerning Instagram. So Reels bonuses are going away. How is that going to change your guys' participation in Instagram? Dan.
I'm still participating, but I do it begrudgingly. So
Pete?
whatever that means.
Well, it's not just Instagram, it's Facebook too. So
Yep.
yeah, it's a little begrudgingly, but I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep proceeding with it the way I've been before I was on bonuses, which is just kind of, putting in energy into it because I want to grow it. Because at the end of the day, it is part of the resume and it helps with growth and having a foothold in that platform. But it's definitely discouraging. But that being said, you pivot, like we talked about this 100 times on a podcast out of 150 episodes, that you can't rely on like one source. Like you can't just rely all on YouTube or all on Etsy or all on Instagram Reels bonuses or whatever. Like if that was your plan, you were unfortunately destined to fail. So the fact that we're all pretty much diversified in here, so we're not just relying on one income, so I think that's the key. It's like that going away. It's like, oh, that's a bummer, but I'm not going to have to like change my whole life to do it. And I think that's how you need to treat each one of these incomes. Drew, what do you think?
True.
I like that advice. I'm ignorant to everything Instagram, Facebook, so it's not monetized. I don't make any money. I only use Instagram to post, troll, comments, and talk, basically provide a way for people to message me. For social, I'm all in on YouTube. However, I have YouTube is one of the many streams of income to my business, but it is like the only social thing that I am actually investing in. If that makes sense.
Yep.
But I agree with I agree with everything Peter said, even though he can't read books behind me.
I don't have to read them. Somebody else reads them for me. They say the words, I listen. Thanks, Audible.
So,
Mike?
So for me, like, I'm just like, I have a lot of a bandwidth myself. Like I have a lot of bandwidth to commit myself to things. I also know when to kind of stop committing to things too. Like things eventually don't hold value compared to what your time that's being put into it.
History says that's a lie. I mean, you're still here.
Good point. No, but like Instagram is
series finale.
Instagram is I do make money on Instagram, not through Instagram's channels, and I think that's why I'm being punished by Instagram. Honestly, I think they want me to make money through their channels, and they're kind of taking those channels away, and they're making it much harder for you to make money through other channels other than theirs, which I don't want to have any part of. I see a lot of people are doing that. I've gone back and forth on that subscription thing where you can pay to have a blue check mark. I was like railing against it, and then I was like, I think I'm going to get it, and then I'm not doing it. I've buried my feet in the ground, and I refuse to give that platform that does nothing, but harvest my ad revenue that I draw for them and does nothing for me except for throttles me. So I'm trying to like pull my energy away from Instagram, and I love the community on Instagram, so it's really sad for me. Also, I've invested 4 years of a lot of energy into that platform, a lot of energy, and it really is hard for me to just be like, I'm done, because I don't really want to do that because of the community that is there for me. I have a lot of people that I care about and talk to there. I get to communicate with them through that. I just kind of expect everything I post now to go flat. So I went into my my monthly stats there, and my monthly stats used to be I would reach between 3 and 30 million people a month.
Wow.
On Instagram. I just looked for this last month, and it was 107,000 people, which is about 3,000 more than I have for followers, which means that my account is not reaching outside of my following, and I'm not being shown to anyone outside of there. And then there's just no point. So there's no point. Very realistically, I'm probably not going to lose those people. So I'm not going to keep putting the energy into it until they start turning things around. I just have no reason to do it. So, and making $100 extra for putting up reels. I mean, the reels are completely going away. It's been valueless for a long time. $100 literally means nothing to me. Literally means nothing to me. I have a business that makes so much more money than that, and other revenue streams that make so much more money than that. I just can't even, it is ludicrous to think that that holds value to me. It's just insane. There's no money in it. So just from like retainers and brand deals, I make like 2,000 times more than that on Instagram in a month. So it makes no sense. It's super dumb. So I don't care about Instagram. I'm actually going to just start putting whatever I want up there. It's kind of a joke. And really, it's just kind of going to be a place where I send potential clients to see my work as a portfolio. And it's just like a place to communicate with people that I really like.
Yeah,
and I'm also going to really start unfollowing people who I don't interact with at all. Like, I'm just going to really only want to see things in my feed that I really want to see anymore. Like, I'm going to start going through and being like, if I don't interact with you ever, I have no real need to follow this person anymore. And I'm really like trying to turn it into this thing where it's like, it's just going to be a tool for really talking about what I'm going to be doing on YouTube, to be very honest, and what projects we're going on. I'll have my therapy sessions and stories, and I don't really care about Instagram. Yeah, that's like what it is. Like, I just like work through my day, like jump on stories. I have my therapy session, and then I say, hey, this is what's going on for the people who are really interested. And I just don't care about it anymore. And it really sucks because it's a thing I've put a lot of energy into, but it just doesn't have any value anymore. So that's my opinion on it. And I'm not going to spend money on that. And anyone who does whatever, you can do whatever you want. There's no judgment at all. I just don't care. I'm not going to pay them a monthly subscription to allow me to post on their platform. It's unreal.
Did you see John Cesaro's
I mean him talk about that for a while. Yeah,
where he was like, and this is why YouTube is great, because if you want to get verified, you have to put in the work.
Yeah.
On Instagram, Twitter, you just pay to get like BS. On YouTube, you need 100,000 subscribers. Do the work. And I was like, well said. Like, that's.
I agree.
I thought it was funny because Eric came on the show, Spencer came on the show and railed against it, and then he did some just things about it, and then he got it. So I feel like, I don't know if it was like a long con troll, but he got the.
I mean, when this was initially coming out, like, we all said like, oh yeah, we're not gonna do it, and then we're like 2 episodes later, we're all gonna do it, and now I'm looking at it, I'm like, do I want to do it right now? Like,
I'm not.
I did it.
I'm just not.
I still see value in Instagram, even though they're not giving me the reels bonus.
Value in it, but like, I'm growing right now still without that. So do I need it? You know, I feel like it's a big carrot. They almost like subtly threatened everyone, like, well, you want to do well, right? So sign up. I don't know.
Do you think Instagram's around in like 5, 7, 10 years?
They're going to need to pivot a lot to do that.
I think the relevance is just dropping off really fast, especially with like, I don't want to like get into this really deep conversation about it, but like, obviously this thing with TikTok is obviously funded by Zuckerberg. I mean, obviously he's putting a ton of money into this TikTok thing. And then what's really frightening is if you really dig into that bill is really scary, what it gives the government the power to do. Then being able to censor on
that bill
not just
is
TikTok.
Frightening.
Yeah, it's everything. It's a frightening bill. Like, I don't want to get into a political conversation on the show, but like, if you dig into that bill, it is a frightening piece of legislation. And
I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. That bill should frighten the shit out of you.
Yeah, it's really scary what's in that bill. And it's really, really like, whoa. And here's my theory. And I'm not like a genius or a political like chess player or something like that, but like, we're losing reels because Zuckerberg already knows that he won against TikTok. The only reason they were paying people for that was because TikTok was. So he knows that this legislation is through because he's already put the money in the hands of the people who are going to make it happen. So the Instagram thing, it's whatever. I mean, it's going to sunset at some point. But the really scary part about all that is that legislation is frightening, the amount of censorship and control it's going to give to the government over what we can and cannot do on a free speech platform. It's frightening to me.
Yeah.
And, and it's under the guise of several things that like fear mongers, certain communities. So they're getting them to believe that it's for the best. But like, honestly, the bottom line is like the internet is going to change because of this legislation, and it's real scary stuff. And the reason payout is going away on this platform is because Zuckerberg knows that he paid who he needed to pay to get done what he wanted to shut down TikTok, so he doesn't have competition. And no matter what, I hate TikTok, no matter what, none of us want to be in a social media content platform or situation where only one person controls all of that. And that's why I am honestly like, I don't feel so bad about leaving Instagram, because if I can deplatform myself from it,
we
and
should
just
all
do
go to
YouTube,
Twitter.
Nope.
yeah, that's going to be gone soon too. But then now Zuckerberg's coming out with his own platform for like Twitter platform, because he sees the destabilization that Musk has brought to Twitter, and now they're like, we can seize this and we'll own all this ADHD platform.
To like take away the payment and start charging for a platform all within the same month. They literally took away incentive for people to do it, and then they're also
because they know they have it clinched.
They do
because they know it.
No matter how many people leave, they're still going to have enough, more than enough, to cover their expenses. I don't know. It's
anyway,
it's a
long
weird
rant
move on
over.
their part.
Sorry, I just went into this long.
Anyway,
Oh,
woodworking.
Yeah, it's just like
Speaking of religion,
yeah, it's
Buddhism.
like,
Thank you.
It's very frustrating, and I'm like, as a person, I mean, Drew doesn't have time. He doesn't have time in Instagram, but Dan, and Pete have a lot of time in Instagram.
A lot of time.
And it's
Don't get me
really
wrong.
sucks.
I'm frustrated.
Yeah,
it sucks, and I'm just not. And I do get value out of Instagram, and I have brand deals that aren't going to go away if I don't have a subscription or not. They don't care. I mean, I have my core audience still, and my core audience cares about the things that I have to say within Instagram. So that's what I have those brand deals for. So not growing is super frustrating, but it's been not growing for 6 months. So I'm just going to just not care as much. Like, I just don't care as much. And why would I? They've given me no reason to. So now I have this new exciting thing that I'm putting all my content creation energy into, and then some, and that's YouTube. And that's where I'm going to be. So if you need to find some content that I'm making, go over to YouTube, check it out.
Check me out,
and then go check out Drew. Go check out Wittworks. Go check out Petrie's Workshop, and go check out Daniel Dunlap Woodworks over on YouTube. Check us all out over there. Check us on Instagram if you want to. That is the end of the episode. We will have a guest next week. I am pretty sure it's locked up. I've just been talking with the person. I'll announce it during the week. I'll talk to the guys after this. We'll talk to you guys all soon. Be sure and check out Drew's latest video on Saturday. That's coming out. He's got a world first exclusive access to a new tool with a huge brand that you're going to want to hear about. So anyway, we'll talk to you guys.
Stanley.
If you're listening to this on Sunday, it was released yesterday.
Yep. If you're a listener. Oh, right. Good point, Dan. Yes. Listeners, the show comes out on Sunday, so you couldn't watch it or listen to it yesterday. I mean, you could have watched it yesterday. Do the math in your head. You'll figure it out. Anyway, I can't think this far into the future.
That X-Tool track saw is going to be awesome.
X-Tool laser track saw.
Laser track saw.
Drew, thanks for coming on the show, man. We really appreciate you having you on. It was a really great time.
Is this
we'll
a
talk
show?
to you guys. This is it. We're wrapping it now. We're wrapping it.
Recording 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. No. We'll talk to you guys next time. We'll be here next week. Have a good
I
one.
stopped recording already.
Oh, let me do bye-bye.
Bye.
Suck it, Zuck.